This was originally from the Washington Post, sent to me by TJ Martinell of tjmartinell.com. Life under a growing cloud of student debt. Stanton, Virginia. Sarah Poole sings loudly in the car, escapes it. Why do they always start out so eloquently? I know you guys think it's an art form, you journalists, but you're not artists. Just tell us the story about this stupid girl who pissed away all this money on a worthless degree and the horrors that came with it, and how you in the journalistic community are going to shirk your duties of trying to warn people about the same fates, but you're just going to use it as a sad sob story that we need more money, we need more Bernie Sanders to bail out people for their stupid mistakes. I didn't even read through the whole thing. I just skimmed this article, and it almost had the air like I didn't know. It's like one of those Daily Mail pieces where they get someone who's so spectacularly stupid. You know, they always do that. You guys still believe in the Daily Mail. You think it's a legitimate news source. It's not. It's a British tabloid. But you guys just can't wait to sop up the juicy story about the 62-year-old cat lady who passed up on the guy and all that, and she's a feminist studies major. It's not the Washington Post is not the Daily Mail, but I wonder, I don't know, is it just a juicy tidbit that the Washington Post is throwing out there, ergo it's kind of a tabloid? Or do you journalists, who is it? Who wrote this? By Ellen McCarthy of the Washington Post. Does Ellen McCarthy actually believe this is newsworthy and this is just going to be another leftist call for other people's money to bail stupid people out of their stupid decisions? I don't know. But we're going to enjoy her misery anyway. Not McCarthy, but Sarah Poole. Sarah Poole sings loudly in the car, escapes into books, and tries best as she can not to think too much about the monster outside her door. The one who demands every extra cent she earns. The one who keeps trying to appease but fears she will never be free of. The one she acquired when she was 25, pregnant, and determined to make a good life for the baby on the way. Did she major in engineering? Did you major in accounting? How much you want to bet what she majored in, ladies and gentlemen? You know where it's going. 3 years ago, when she finished her master's degree, Sarah's student loans totaled $60,000. She has paid steadily ever since and now owns $69,000, more than twice the annual income she earns working as a children's librarian. That woman, Sarah, should just be happy that we taxpayers have created this completely unnecessary job for her. She shouldn't even have a job. How do you get a master's degree and you're not able? How do you get a master's degree and not know how interest works? Oh, I know. You go to an American university and you major in the liberal arts, and then you're like, how come I didn't know? I couldn't do exponential or compounding mathematics. I don't know what is that little caret sign? What does it mean? To the power? I don't know. To the power of feminism? Yeah. I keep paying, the 31-year-old says, but it's like pouring into a bucket with no bottom. I don't know, maybe get a second job, huh? When Hera was a homeschooled kid in rural Ohio, one of her heroes was the local librarian who steered her towards Madeleine L'Angle and put aside new arrivals she thought Sarah might like. 14 years ago, after getting her undergrad degree in, anyone? Bueller? In English, because she didn't speak English in Ohio. That was a foreign language in Ohio. They don't speak English in Ohio. They don't. Sarah and a few of her friends moved to a farm near Harrisonburg, Virginia. She'd hoped to start a career where she could put her education to use, but had to settle for a job at a yarn dyeing plant. That's the first honest real work you ever did. I'm gonna give an olive branch to the leftists and women out there. And you may not like this olive branch because it's not caked in chocolate and good feelings and Oprah's vagina. But if you major in the liberal arts and major in something easy, it's going to be harder in the long run than if you just take your lumps in your head and bite the bullet up front and major in something hard. With an English degree, honestly, where did the English degree get her? She works at a yarn dyeing plant. When her friends decamped back to Ohio after a couple of years, Sarah decided to stay in the area, moving to nearby Staunton, where she worked part-time as a library page and supplemented her income with shifts at a coffee shop. You can't make it up! Libraries are, they're obsolete. They're completely unnecessary. You don't need them. And now here we are making make-work jobs, completely make-work jobs for predominantly women. There's a couple guys out there that work in libraries. But you guys should be thanking the taxpayer and then having a cup of shut the fuck up because your jobs should not even exist. This is like the toll road workers in Chicago, or if we kept the horse and buggy industry alive. Then came the positive pregnancy test. It just came. It just like poof, there it was in the mail. Like, I'm walking down the street and there's a statistical chance that blammo, a meteorite comes out of the sky and poop, right in old Claire Meister's head. And it's the same thing with pregnancy. Poof! It just happens like meteorites from the sky. Didn't seem to get... Then came the positive pregnancy test and the realization that she had to do better. Her undergraduate degree didn't seem to be getting her anywhere. Seem? No, her undergraduate degree wasn't getting her anywhere. Period. So she enrolled in graduate school to get a master's in. Anybody think that young Sarah Poole's going to learn from her mistakes? Of which are accruing at a very rapid rate. It's not like, oh, dang, I put premium in when regular gas would have done. These are life-crippling mistakes. Majoring in stupid shit, getting pregnant. Don't worry, I know you're all, is she married? Did she marry a stable man with a job? Oh, you guys know the answer to that one. Because women don't need no man-fish bicycle trademark. Snap, 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 to the 6, to the 3, to the 12, to the 9. She got her master's degree in education. Because why would you want to work a real job? You're just going to go back to the entire make-work industry that hardworking men and women in the private sector pay extra taxes for, so you girls predominantly, and some men, can all make believe you're actual professionals as teachers. Sarah went to school part-time and continued to work at the library and coffee shop. Her boyfriend took care of their baby, Max, during the day. Oh, boyfriend, so not husband. Oh, Aaron, you foolish boy. Oh, come on, don't die on me now there. During the day and worked at a bakery overnight. Student loans took care of tuition, books, and leftover living expenses. Excuse me, why are you using student loans to take care of living expenses? I know Sarah and her boyfriend are not the smartest. They are your rank-and-file liberal arts majors with very low IQs who are never going to read my book, Curse of the High IQ, because they don't have high IQs. But, for us normal, intelligent people who can do subtraction and addition, why were you guys using student loans for living expenses? It's Bush's fault. It's Bush's fault. Oh, wait, this is during Obama. I guess you can't blame Bush. In 2014, Sarah graduated with a 3.95 grade point average and a $60,000 bill. A 3.95 GPA is not impressive in education. I'm not joking. To get a 4.0 in the liberal arts is like taking a piss. It is not that hard. That's not impressive. It's not an accomplishment. It's nothing to be proud of. It's a pathetic expectation. And a $60,000 bill. After a terrible student teaching experience. Okay, here, this is key. After a terrible student teaching experience. So she was a student teacher. She spent $60,000 in 2 years of her life now getting this master's degree. She had to do better for her child. She had a terrible student teaching experience. The sinking feeling that teaching wasn't for her, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done, she remembers. A few months later, Sarah and her boyfriend broke up. The debt and all of Max's expenses were on her. Max being her child. How about this, sugar cup? Try not to read. How about it doesn't fucking matter what you like anymore? If you're such a spineless, weak individual, you had a bad student teacher. How hard is teaching? Working on the yarn dyeing plant must have galvanized you a bit. And here you are, you had a bad, did the little students say something bad? Did they call you a name? You can't hack it at teaching? You spent 6 years and how much of the taxpayers' money getting this fucking... if I was her father, I'd say, you're going to get your motherfucking ass back into that motherfucking school and you're going to teach. And if you don't, I will leave you in the fucking street. But we can't do that to the children, even though our children are 31. After stints as a teaching assistant and working at a bookmobile. This is the career in life that waits for you leftists. This is the career in life that waits for you liberal arts majors. Master's degrees, no less. Sarah was hired full-time as a library assistant in a neighboring town. Well, couldn't you have done, were you doing that before? Another make-work government job to bail you out and to bail out your ego so you feel like you're actually doing something and contributing to society that you could have done, heck, with your bachelor's degree in English. Technically, you could have done it with an 8th grade graduate diploma. But I'm sure to make all those women in the library sciences feel educated and important, you must have your master's degree. Presiding over toddler story times in teen reading groups. Look at how sad and pathetic. She is paid our taxpayer money to preside over toddler story times and teen reading groups. Volunteers, old grandma ladies whose children have moved out and haven't had grandkids yet, will do that for free. But no, we gotta pay this loser, this veritable loser, this parasite upon society, to go and do that as a library assistant. I love my job because I feel like I help people, and it's tangible. No, it's not tangible. You don't, okay, you feel like you help people, you don't. You do not. The people will read to these kids no matter, and it's not tangible. It's not. You're in la la land, Sarah. You have been so misled by people you presumably vote for and believe in, your religion. You followed the advice of elderly leftists and academians and professors and Democrats and communists and socialists and librarians. I'm wondering who this, the librarian that recommended you read this gal, whoever it was. I bet you the advice that you followed has all been horrible. And yet you're still going to bow down at this altar of leftism, aren't you? Who speaks softly as she brushes away her wavy hair to reveal a "Where the Wild Things Are" pin attached to her gray cardigan. Wow, a pin. Ooh. Therapist told the parents of a little girl with developmental delays to take her to story time. The girl became so attached to Sarah that her parents would invite the librarian over for dinner. She did better after they started bringing her all the time. Stories like that, where you actually making a connection with people and you're touching them in some way, are really rewarding. Well, I'm glad us taxpayers could make it so that you guys could have her come over and have dinner. I'm glad that we're just making it so that readers, that's what taxpayers are creating. We have a job called readers. What do? You read? Really? Yeah, well, how good thing you got that English degree. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to read, huh? Sarah would not have this job, she knows, if she didn't have an advanced degree. Oh my God, they made you get a master's for that. Yet she has a hard time convincing herself that it was worth the price she continues to pay. Of course it's not worth it. Sarah is on an income-based repayment plan and pays about $280 a month. Without that income-based plan, she'd be paying $780. She feels perpetually on the edge of peril. One car breakdown away from disaster. Sarah buys clothes for herself at Max, almost exclusively at Goodwill. Oh, like I do today? There's no solution. She can't go work another job because she fucked up and just got pregnant. Like, the meteorite out of the sky. Boop! Oh my God! I got struck by the pregnancy meteorite. I'm pregnant now. They don't have Wi-Fi at home, only movies from the library for entertainment. Well, yeah, I mean, how hard is that? No meals out or weekend getaways. Yep! No matter how much government money comes in, you still have to pay the price. You are still going to pay the price. When Sarah fantasizes about the future, what she dreams about is being able to pay more than the monthly minimum on her student loans. Well, find your dad and your ma. They obviously didn't raise you correctly. You didn't have an abortion. Have them take care of your kid. You work a second job, and then you start. It's called amortization. You get ahead of the rate of amortization. I know that require you study something more than where the wild things are. Math. But that's where you'd find, and then you work a second job. It's just a constant. It's just a constant worry in my mind. Well, that worry was brought to you by the Democrats and the leftists that you swallowed whole, right? It wasn't no Republican saying you should go major in worthless leftist indoctrinated slop, right? She has learned the hard way to bring it up sooner rather than later on dates. It has scared men off in the past. Good! Good! Well, not the student loans. I think the kid probably scares them away a little bit more, but a kid plus student loans? Fuck you. Has scared men off in the past as she wants them to understand the dictating factor in her bare-bones lifestyle. Some hit the door right away. Others casually mention that they owe just as much or even more. Oh, yeah, but they don't have a kid, and they probably majored in engineering. And there's a wage gap because of sexism, not because men worked harder and studied harder, more difficult subjects. Can you see why I don't know if this is a juicy gossip Daily Mail story, or whether this is actually supposed to be a sob story, a leftist piece, a call for more money? It reads the same. It's indistinguishable. Maybe it's both. Then Sarah starts thinking about their student loans combined. That's over $100,000, she'll calculate. Can you add that up? That's a lot of money. I'm glad you get it, but the glimmer of Sarah... Wait. That's a lot of money. I'm glad you get it, but... And then it ends. The glimmer of hope Sarah clings to is her enrollment in a public service student loan forgiveness program that would clear her of remaining debt if she puts in 7 more years of work with the government and continues to make her payments on time. So you are enslaved to the government. Once again, I'm going to offer an olive branch to the leftists. Who are you enslaved to? Who put you in this situation? You may not like my tone, but if young Sarah listened to old Capmeister, if young Sarah hired Asshole Consulting in 18 and said, Aaron, should I major in worthless shit and accidentally get hit by the pregnancy meteorite? I would say no, carry an umbrella, a meteorite-proof umbrella that would prevent you from getting pregnant. Would she be in this situation today? No, she wouldn't. Thank you very much. Oh, even Aaron, you say mean things, mean things, but you actually give a shit more than any leftist, any rank-and-file leftist out there. And professors and teachers. I love it when they're like, my hero is one of my teachers. Oh, you got fucking lame-ass heroes. My hero is John fucking McClane. And my hero will beat the shit out of your hero any day. But she's heard horror stories of Bowers being disqualified from the program, which is available to people who work for the government or certain nonprofits after they have paid their loans on time for 10 years because of a paperwork error. But the government is so much more efficient than the private sector. The government can't be doing this. And she's terrified the program will be quietly eliminated. You mean you'd actually have to pay back the loans you signed and agreed contractually for? Really? You might have to pay the people that you took their money, their time that they converted into money through labor, and they lent it to you under the understanding you would pay them back with interest, and you're going to violate that. You're going to be a thief, and that's what you are. That is the definition of theft, or at least a contract breaker, which I guess makes you a liar. But you're the victim. Donald Trump's 2018 budget proposal did suggest cutting it for new borrowers, but would still forgive debts of people currently enrolled. Man, I should be on the Department of Education. Donald Trump should hire me. Not having the program, she says, would kind of end my life. No, you ended your life. When you majored in stupid shit, you didn't understand math, you didn't understand compound interest, and you didn't understand fucking without a condom or abortion. Oh, I'll be paying student loans until I'm dead, basically, which is really scary. You mean like all the leftist women whose advice you followed who also have their master's degree and wanted you to be in the company of misery? In the first 5 years of his life, Sarah and Max moved 6 times and wound up living with multiple roommates. I'm sure that's great for the kid. That's great for the kid. It was just really tough, she says. I wanted to have a stable place for him. When a house across the street from her best friend went on the market last summer for just over $100,000, Sarah held her breath and applied for a mortgage. And I still don't really understand how I got approved. Oh my God, you got approved. Holy shit. Just more debt, huh, sweetheart? More debt. Other people's money. Just other people's money. I always bailing you out, huh? Other people's money. Sarah says while sitting on a hand-me-down couch in that house, which now belongs to her. There are cheerful yellow walls and no rugs on the floors, but Max, now 5 years old, wears slippers as he plays with his Legos. And Sarah puts socks over her stockings for an extra layer of padding and warmth. I'm still nervous that they'll be like, wait a minute, we've made a huge mistake. You have to move out immediately. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll fall behind on your mortgage payments and then you'll be foreclosed upon. Though there aren't any luxuries, Sarah says she and Max don't lack anything they really need. Yeah, I bet you the taxpayers helping you out there, aren't they? And what they have now is an extra bedroom and love to spare. Max, social and chatty. You always go for you always just, look at the human factor. Ignore the fact that you've now put 2 innocent lives into poverty. Max is cheerful. Constantly clamoring for a younger sibling. Sarah adores children and everyday encounters so many sweet kids that just want somebody to care about them. She has started taking classes to prepare to be a foster parent. I didn't make it this far, but the stupidity. Oh, that's right. You get free government money when you're a foster parent, right? Well, she can block out anxiety about the debt. What Sarah feels mostly is lucky. She lives in a town that feels like home, has a job she loves, and is the mother of a healthy, happy, charismatic little boy. Well, at least the kid ain't sick. That's about the only thing worse that could happen to this the poor girl, but I'm also worried about the poor boy. I'm worried more about Max. Plus, she's got music and books, and that flickering faith that if she keeps working hard, life will somehow turn out all right. You know, I remember back in, during the Great Recession, well, hopefully the economy will turn around. I saw that on every banking application. Hopefully the economy turns around. Yep, I hope to. There's nothing else to say about this person and her situation. She serves as an example. The best thing she's going to achieve in life is serve as a warning to others. And I still don't know if that was that meant to be a gossipy piece? Was that meant to be a tabloid juicy piece where we all get to mock and ridicule the idiot? Or was it just some kind of like, well, we need to bail out. They didn't really go with the we need to bail people out like this. And I think it was a juicy piece. I don't know, TJ, if you're listening, let me know if the Washington Post is a gossip column or if that's actually a legitimate publication. Because I don't know.